You've got 15 minutes. We've got go-to-market strategy and real talk. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Mandy. This is Your Future Biz Unfiltered, the podcast for founders and go-to-market leaders who want to scale smarter and stay sane while doing it.
Each short episode includes a tactical takeaway, from ICPs to poopy pipelines to LinkedIn DMs that don't suck.
In other words, this isn't your podcast ran by sales bros in Patagonia vests. This is Your Future Biz Unfiltered.
Your ICP isn't just a list in Apollo. They're real people. They're in Slack communities. They're in LinkedIn groups. They are your favorite LinkedIn lurkers. They are reading newsletters. They are in podcasts. So in this episode, we're helping you find those places so you can stop shouting into the void, or maybe just one big void, and you can start showing up where it counts. I'm your co-host, Lindsay Rios, your favorite GTM leader.
And I am your other co-host, Mandy McEwen, founder of ModGrow Marketing and Luminetics.
All right, ICPs.
ICPAF, your jam, man.
Oh, man, I talk about these a lot. But to be fair, I talk a lot about how to make sure we're fully defining them and we're all working towards them. But I don't do as much talking about where they might live for you. Mm-hmm. So yes. Where are some places that people don't think about they should be spending time to find their ideal customers versus just the kind of typical, like I go into an Apollo or a Lucia and I try to find them with lists and then reach out to them.
Yeah. So that's great. And that's the easiest way. Still use those tools. However, those people are not, you're just reaching out to them kind of out of nowhere, right? And we all have to do that. We all have to use lists. We have to reach out to people. This is just like a 101, sales 101 that we have to do. But if you want to make your life easier, find where these people actually spend time and then go there, because then you can build relationships and then you don't have to worry about being so cold when you reach out to people. So we're talking about LinkedIn, obviously, my favorite and one of your favorite as well.
Right.
Slack communities, another good one.
Yeah.
Podcasts are huge. Podcasts are totally underutilized in this. There's a website called listennotes.com where y'all can literally type in the name of someone that you're targeting. Obviously, this has to be someone that's either an executive or someone at a higher level that's going to be interviewed on podcast, right? But you can type in their name and you can literally go and see every podcast they've been mentioned in, and you can sort it by time too to find the most recent one. And I'm not kidding you when I say this has like a 99% LinkedIn connection acceptance and probably a pretty high, or not probably, I've done it, and a very high cold email outreach response too, because you're literally saying the things that they said on this podcast and you're boosting their ego and saying how much you enjoy the podcast. Very, very simple. So for example, LinkedIn connection request could be, hey, Lindsay, I heard you yesterday on Mandy's podcast about ABC. I really loved what you said about XYZ. Would be happy to connect. Or don't even say would be happy to connect. Just say what you liked about it and send the connection request.
Honestly, I didn't know that existed. And I've totally accepted people's LinkedIn requests that were like, oh, I just heard you on the Fractionals podcast. And it was like the most helpful thing I've heard lately. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad. Connect.
And you accepted it. Like, you're going to be an asshole if you deny that someone.
That's true. I would be like, it's, and wow. Yeah, I've totally fallen for it. Good job.
Yeah, it works. So listennotes.com, go check it out. But this is when we're talking more about like ABM now, right? So we're talking about like, we're getting specific on who we're going after. We're not just like uploading a list from Apollo or Zoom info and blasting these people. You can do that, but you're going to have not the greatest success. So also networking events, digital or in real life, obviously conferences, but there's also virtual similar events where you can meet people and hang out.
Yeah.
And follow newsletters of industry leaders. And one of my favorite things to do and what I train teams and individuals on is look at the comment section on LinkedIn. Look at who's commenting on the industry leaders post. And I'm not talking about your industry, right? Like, let's say that you are a fintech company targeting, let's say environmental companies. I'm just randomly throwing this out, right? Then you were to go and you are going to find the environmental influencers on LinkedIn, and you're going to look at the comment section of who is who is talking about that, right? Same with like if you're targeting nonprofits. So a lot of challenges that I see sellers have is they just get so in their own bubble. Like they work for a company that is a specific industry, or they are sellers and they're in like a seller bubble, and they're not putting themselves in the bubble of their prospects. They're not putting themselves in the ICP bubble. And that's where the easiest, lowest hanging fruit is. So you're making friends with people in the industry, but you're creeping on the comment section, and y'all can even look at who liked certain posts. Literally, like you click the number of likes, it shows you who likes certain posts. Go and look at the top industry leaders of who you're targeting, who's engaging with their LinkedIn posts, make friends with those industry leaders too, and then easily reach out. Now, what I'm about to tell you is also being overutilized with spam and AI right now. So you're going to have to find a unique take for this, because people right now are saying, hey, Lindsay, I saw your comment on Mandy McEwen's post yesterday. Would love to connect. Like, you guys can't do that anymore. You're going to have to be a little bit more specific. Or you can like Lindsay could go and, like the comment of someone she's doing this to before she sends a connection request. So you guys can engage on people's comments too, by the way. You don't just have to engage with their posts. You can engage with their comments if it's a legit comment. If it's a comment that's like, congratulations, like that would be weird if you did that. That would be a little strange.
Yeah, actually, and there are tools out there that help you easily find people who are engaging on posts that would be your ICP. Like, I mean, like Ample Market was doing this for years, which were like, one of my SDRs was really, really smart. I mean, I didn't ask him to do it. He just thought about it. The company I was at, we integrated with Figma, and you couldn't use us without using Figma or the couple other ones. And Figma had done some sort of webinar, and he posted about it, and it had like 50 something people who had reacted onto the post, and Ample Market just grabbed all those people for him. And then he took a look at them and then outreached to them, very show me, you know me style, about it. But like these are the things that people don't think about. They just go way too direct and just like try to say, oh, I saw you comment on Mandy's post about videos, and I do videos. So do you want me to do your videos? Like, what? No, that doesn't. Now you just feel like you're stalking me versus starting a conversation to build a relationship. So here's some of the places we've talked about. It's not just finding them and cold outbounding to them. And it's not just trying to pitch slap them in LinkedIn, right? It's spending time in the places that they exist. Let's talk a little bit about how to now engage with them, because we kind of talked a little bit about how not to.
Yeah. So let's talk about like Slack groups, for example. So if you're in a Slack community full of your ICP or possible referral partners, you don't just want to start obviously pitching people in the Slack thread. You have to be, it's the same with LinkedIn, which I'll talk about in a second. You have to be engaging. You have to be sharing valuable info. You have to be responding to people, kind of boosting them up before you even ask a question about what it is that you do, right? Or leading to a sales conversation. It's the same for LinkedIn. So we want to engage with these people ahead of time. I have something called the friendly leader method that I train sales teams on. And essentially it is, you go and find your ICP. This can be on any platform really, but obviously I train on LinkedIn. Go and find your ICP, preferably the ones that are active. You can use Sales Navigator to find people who are active. You go and engage with their content or their comments. Like I just mentioned, only if their comments are legit. So engaging means you like and you respond with a comment. If it's something weird, like, or if it's 3 weeks old, you can just like it. I mean, probably don't like anything if it's really weird, obviously, but let's say it's like a good thought leadership post, but it's 3 weeks old. You can still like it. It just might be a little weird if you comment. So this is what I mean by engage. If it's a recent post from like the last week, you can leave a comment, engage. If it's a decent post where you can leave a comment on, then you wait a little bit. And the reason that you can know if they saw your comments is if they engage with it, meaning did they like your comment? Did they respond to your comment? If that happens, you can send a connection request right away. And you don't even really have to say anything if you have a legit profile, which if you don't, I can help you with that. But if you, regardless, you could even say, hey, Lindsay, enjoyed your post yesterday on ABC. Would be happy to connect. They already saw that Lindsay already saw that I engaged with her. So there's a really high probability that she's going to accept my connection request. And this is like being a friend. That's why I call it the friendly leader method. Yeah. Because you're acting like you're a friend and you're boosting up Lindsay's ego by telling her you liked your post, and you're helping Lindsay with the algorithm because the algorithm likes when people comment and engage. So there's a really high chance that she's going to accept that connection request because you already engaged with her before you reached out. But I'm not saying anything about what I'm trying to sell Lindsay right now. I'm literally just being a friend.
Now we're connected.
Then I can start the dialogue. I can ask questions. I can take it from there. I'm still not pitch slapping. Even when Lindsay accepts my connect request, I'm not going to pitch her right away because again, we're trying to look like the friendly industry leader. Even if you're an SDR or BDR, you can still do this because if your profile is optimized and you know what you're talking about, you can still be seen as an industry expert, even if you're an SDR. And that's the right way to do this.
That you guys, resonate about the same topics. I mean, and this is a very this is a bit more of a direct approach, which is really good and important. If you are not sure about that as much, it's still really, really useful and important to be spending time in these places and then just putting out your own thought leadership in general. And so just, and then they come to you. It's amazing. So just as an example, like I'm very active in 3 Slack communities and one of my tips about communities is don't be in, it's not useful to be in like every single one because then you're not actually present and active in any of them. So you're not going to build any kind of brand or relationships in them anyways. So I know my max is 3, whatever yours is, fine. But there are ICPs in all 3 of my communities, all over them. Now, there's also just people I want to network with, make friendships with, learn from too. So they're communities I want to be in because they're helpful for me, but they also have my ICPs. So when I'm talking in the threads and the conversations about the things that I'm an expert in, that's branding me now for what I do and what I'm really good at. But people see it in an organic way and it trusts, and I'm doing it because I'm just adding value to a conversation. Some of these communities, you can even be participating in things like webinars or sessions, right, that they put on. So like in one of mine, the Old Girls Club, every few months, I do a joint session with another friend in there, and we talk about the things that sales and marketing and all that. In particular, for people who are like founders and solopreneurs, and I've gotten clients out of that. They've come to me, they've gone to the session, so they think, okay, I'm getting to know Lindsay as a human being because I'm also commenting in the parenting channel, right, about my crazy ass kids, right? So I like Lindsay, I resonate with her and connect with her, but she's also really good at this stuff, and I need that in my business now. Right. And so like that is a way that you can do that, especially on LinkedIn. And what's different about these formats than the Apollo lists, we're not shitting on them. We all have to do them. It's just that people can now get to know what Lindsay's like, my personality, the things that I care about, things that you might care about too, and the things that she's good at. And you can't do that in just email outreach, right? Mm-hmm. So if you spend time anywhere I spend time, you know that I'm very vocal about being a parent, about women and what it's like being a woman in the workplace, poopy pipelines, right? Like those are things you know. I was
hoping you'd say that.
Right. And so you might like that. And if you're like, I think that lady's an absolute like psychopath. And
I was going to say nut job.
Yeah. Nut job, like lunatic, that's fine. And you think that saying poopy pipelines is unprofessional. That's no big deal. You're not going to be my ICP. So it's also a great way to
weed out people.
Weed out people by spending time here.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned the being a part of other communities. So for example, being a guest speaker somewhere or hosting, a training in a community. So for me, I work with Sell Better a lot, the Sell Better team. I've been on like 9 episodes over the last couple of years. That gets me business. It's my exact target audience of salespeople that work in SaaS companies primarily, right? Pavilion is another one. I've worked with Pavilion. I've got clients there. I'm doing another a sales nav training for them soon. I did a personal branding one a couple years ago. Now we're working on a sales nav one. I'm looking to get in front of more. I just before we started recording this, I talked to my sales enablement friend who's going to introduce me to sales enablement type groups, just like what we're talking about here. So it's finding where your buyers hang out in these types of communities, groups, etc., providing value ahead of time on your LinkedIn profile or Twitter, wherever you want to do it. And then reaching out to these people that lead these organizations or being a part of their community, their Slack channel, and then volunteer. Hey, can I help lead a training session on XYZ? Right? Do you have any opportunities for me to help your community on ABC? Even if it's like providing Slack. So I worked with Demandbase as an example in their Slack thread a year or so ago. And they hired me to literally make videos in their Slack community about LinkedIn and training their Slack community, Revenue Circle, I think it's called, on how to get better on LinkedIn. And so like every week on a Wednesday, I would go and I would post like a quick, 3-minute video on a certain topic. And that was helping their Slack community. So these are just all examples that we're saying right here, because you have to be creative. Also, you can't just rely on like one. I'm all about LinkedIn. Obviously, I have an entire business about LinkedIn, but I don't just rely on LinkedIn,
Right.
Like you guys have to find all the places that your people hang out. Yes, focus. We're only one person. We don't have clones, unfortunately. That would be creepy, but it would help from a work standpoint. That's what AI is for. It would be too much. It would be too much. Oh, one Mandy in the world is enough for people to handle. Two would be a bit much.
Screaming about poopy pipelines is probably enough. I know.
Exactly. But be strategic here. So find where your people are, build relationships, offer to help, offer value, try to get in front of them with doing some sort of session, training, whatever it is, and build relationships with people running these organizations.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the tying it all together, is that you have to not just rely on one channel. This is no different than just like marketing one-on-one, right? If you only focused on one, then that would not be good. So you got to have this multi-channel approach. And when you do, not only is it going to give you more ability to build pipeline for your business, but they're going to be in ways that all come together. And so I didn't do any of this till obviously I started my own business. I wasn't even active on LinkedIn, but once I started doing that, and then I happened to find these couple communities that I joined for just to help me personally, not because I even knew enough then to find my ICPs there, and that combination. And then from there, it was like, oh, do you want to be in this session? Oh, can you be on my podcast? Oh, do you want to just go to this dinner with people? Yeah, I want to go to the dinner because I got to be around people that were awesome. I also knew some of my ICPs would be there. Now I'm everywhere that my ICPs are, in lots of different ways, giving value, or maybe telling them in the way that I am. I don't want to work with that lady, and that's fine. And then even better, which we haven't mentioned, other people get to know you too. And they might not be my ICP, but they will talk about me to my ICP.
Absolutely.
When I talk about, brand myself enough about what I do. So these all come together in a way that works together. If I had not started being active on LinkedIn around the same time that I got really involved in the communities that I'm in, it would not have worked in the way that it has worked for me. So it's a combination of it all. And that's why it's really important. However, for our tactical takeaway, we cannot boil the ocean. We can't go showing up all these places at the same time. It's impossible because, again, we talked about no clones. So what should we do as our very tactical takeaway from today?
Pick one channel and go deep on that channel and find where you need to be. Because even one channel has tons of pockets within the channel, right?
Right.
So pick one for now and figure out how you can maximize that channel. If it's LinkedIn, I am your girl. I can help you. I've got all the things for you to make your life easier. So pick one and focus on showing up. And I'm going to go back to the cringe word of being authentic, but be real. Don't try to be someone you're not, and don't try to be too polished. Pick a channel, get involved, build relationships, make friends, provide value, whether it's a Slack community, LinkedIn, whatever it is, and be yourself. Show your personality. Because what Lindsay mentioned earlier, that's why she's resonating with people, because she's coming from a human first mentality, not I need to get clients.
Right. And once you start doing that for long enough, what I'd say, let's have our tactical takeaways, choose one and do it for 30 days,
30
right?
days.
Go and immerse yourself and start doing this for 30 days. And then after that, you'll start to have that become kind of a part of your norm. It won't feel like it'll become routine. Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely.
Then you can choose your next one and start integrating that into your day-to-day. But don't try to go and be like, all right, got it. So I'm going to go on LinkedIn and I'm going to start doing all the things on LinkedIn. And I'm also going to go find 3 communities in Slack. And then I'm also no, you can't do all at the same time if you haven't been. So otherwise you'll only do that and then you won't
You'll be burnt out.
Yeah.
Well, and that one channel that you pick is likely going to lead you to your next one,
Yeah.
So you're focused on one, you're going to learn a lot about your ICP and yourself. That is naturally going to lead you to where you should focus next.
Yep.
So follow that. Trust the process. Another cringe word. Phrase.
Yeah. Love it.
Love it.
Okay, so we told you where to go find your people, how to spend time there, how to engage with them. But there's something really key that we talked a little bit about that we're going to talk even more about next time, which is really how you can kind of use your own industry influencers and like audience to help you with your business.
Yes, making friends with the influencers. So that's what we're talking about next. And if you want to choose LinkedIn as your channel, I have a free course with has a playbook. It has free templates and everything, videos, all the things 100% free. We'll put links here in this podcast episode for you guys to check out, but it's golumi.io/free. So it's the best place to get started if you want to focus on LinkedIn. I give you a lot of info for free. So check it out. And then we will see you guys in the next episode. We're going to help you make friends with the cool influencers so you can make some big stuff happen in a short amount of time.
Okay, now go build something cool. If you like what you hear, or at least didn't hate it, hit that follow or subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. And if you didn't know, this is a video podcast too. So if you want to see our lovely faces, go check us out on YouTube and subscribe there. And just like that, another business problem got a little bit clearer, because in the business world, it's not about who raises first. It's about who lasts.